David joins us by telephone right now. And David, I have to ask you, as the offseason is evolving, what are you doing right now in terms of working out and training and getting ready for next season?
Well, pretty much doing the same thing I've been doing the last 7 years. I hit the gym 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, and then get the workouts I need in and come back, relax, and dabble in the other things I like to do in the off season.
And I've seen those things. I know you like to fish. I know you like to get out there and hunt. But I want to ask you, when you are working out and maybe you're trying to push yourself through a workout, are you thinking that I'm David Robertson, the setup man in 2014, or are you thinking I'm David Robertson becoming the closer in 2014?
No, I don't really worry too much about it. I just feel like I'm still gonna have an important role next year, no matter what. I mean, I'm hoping to get the opportunity to close, but I don't know what's going to happen next year. There's still free agents available, and still Yankees are still making moves, and other teams are too. So I just hold my breath and wait till next season comes and find out where I'm going to land.
I think it's interesting that you said that, David, that you hope to get the opportunity. I think both Joe Girardi and Brian Cashman have said the same thing about you, that that's a role that they think you can fulfill, but they're waiting to see how the rest of the bullpen shakes out. If you were to become the closer, what kind of mentality, what kind of talents do you bring to that role? It's something that you've had the opportunity to try in the past. How do you think you would do that job on a full-time basis?
I really honestly just try to treat it just like the eighth inning. It's really, it's the same thing essentially. I mean, you're trying to get 3 outs. No matter, you can lose a ball game in the 6th, 7th, or 8th, or the 9th. I mean, it doesn't matter. You still got to come in and be sound and control the zone and pitch to your strengths. And that's really what I try to focus on every time I take the mound is knowing, when to throw the right pitch and when to stay away from a guy, when to not make mistakes. And next year, I guess the opportunity, I'm going to try to do the same thing I've been doing in the 8th. I'm trying to get out as quick as possible and, get the ball to the next guy. But if I'm the back of the bullpen and I'm the last guy, I'm just going to try to finish the thing. That's the way, closers do things. They finish the game.
David, you've mentioned that a couple times in the past about having more economical innings. You're a guy who's got that fastball. You can get strikeouts with that. You can get strikeouts with the curveball. What is the mentality in trying to have quicker innings? It's obviously, I guess, just getting that strike one, right, and making sure you don't fall behind to start out on that bat?
Absolutely. You definitely want to throw, strike one's key, whether you're throwing, a fastball or a breaking ball. I think, you get to strike one, you're kind of in the driver's seat a little bit. Then, if you can make 2 quality pitches in a row, you've got the hitter 0-2, or you've potentially gotten out already. And that's one of those things I learned from Mo. You watch him pitch, and he doesn't miss the zone a lot. So that was something I really tried to work on last year. I feel like I did a better job of at times. At times my walk ratio was really good. I wasn't allowing any free base runners. And, next year that's going to be the plan again, is try to cut down the walks. I don't really care too much about the strikeouts. I'll take pop flies and ground balls just as well right now at this point.
You say you don't care about the strikeouts, but of course they have come for you. In your career, you average about 12 strikeouts every 9 innings. But I want to go back to the fact that you mentioned Mariano Rivera. Sitting next to him in the bullpen, being with him in the clubhouse, on those plane rides, on those bus rides, what kind of lessons did you soak up being around Rivera?
It's hard to say. I've just enjoyed my time around Mo last year. It was, I know it was his last year, but I really enjoyed being around him with catching partners last year. And I just tried to kind of key in on the small things he does every day that people may not notice, just his routine of playing catch, the way he warms up, how he takes them out, how his mentality never changes, how how he treats the media, everything he did, he did it the right way. And I've tried to incorporate that into what I do on a daily basis with the New York Yankees. And, there was no better role model than Mo, that's for sure.
For so long, Mariano Rivera was the pitcher that everyone looked to in that Yankee bullpen, calling him the senior member of the bullpen. But guess who the senior member of the Yankee bullpen is right now? I'm talking to him. How does that figure to have that name, or that phrase, I should say, attached to your name?
I think I'm a little young to have that phrase and name attached to me.
But I'm going to.
Mo is 43 and at 19 years in the big leagues. I'm going to be going into my 7th season next year. That doesn't feel right.
I know. We're going to attach it anyway, because if you look at the tenure and how much time you've been at the Yankees. But let's talk about some new Yankees, because you're also going to have to greet some teammates. I want to ask what you've heard or what you know yourself about the guy you're going to be throwing to most of the time next year, and that's Brian McCann.
I don't know a lot about him. I know that he's a good hitter because he's hitting 2 home runs off me before. I think he's 2 for 2 with 2 home runs because the All-Star game didn't count, but I got him out there. So.
And what kind of a hitter was he? I mean, what did he beat you on? Do you remember what pitches were that he hit when he took you deep?
Yeah, he got me on 2 fastballs. I thought I broke his bat with one of them, but he still got it out. The next one, the second one was a definite no-doubter. But things have changed since then, and I'm excited to have him. I have a lot of respect for him. I like the way he plays the game. It seems like he has a lot of passion. I don't know him on a personal level at all, but I'm sure I'll get to know him next coming up real soon in spring training.
You know, David, all of us who have gotten to know you know how important your charity, High Socks for Hope, is to you. I wanted to ask you for any updates or anything that you and Erin, your wife, have been doing for High Socks for Hope lately.
Yeah, we just finished. Last month we finished an event right around Thanksgiving. We had an event with Nick's Kids, which is Nick Saban's charity, and Habitat for Humanity, which has been one of our we've been working hand in hand with them, with both these organizations, and it's been really, really great because Nick raises a lot more money than we do. He puts the houses up. We're able to come in and furnish them and get everything situated for the families when they move in, because once they move in, they've essentially lost everything. And for us to be able to come in and be able to put something in the house and give them some beds, some couches, and stuff like that, it's been great. And, we're hoping, Erin's been on the phone recently, and she's kind of got some contacts. And I think we're going to try to set up an event again in New York this year. We're waiting to still work out all the final details, but that's the next venture in our charity. We're still continuing to raise money and still continuing to put it to good use. We're going to hopefully have some things going on in Long Island coming up soon. We're still waiting to hear about how it's going to work out, but I'm sure very soon I'll be able to give you the true updates of how it all played out.
As soon as you have all those updates, let us know, and we'll obviously publicize it as best we can. David, thanks for joining us, and the best to you and your family for the holidays.
Right, you too. Thanks for having me, Jack.